Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here today tuning in, and really grateful if you've already subscribed. If you haven't, please do subscribe, and of course follow my journey. Today I'm going to share a bit more about I've mentioned a little bit that I strength train on my Mounjaro journey, but I've not actually explained a lot about it or shown what I've done except that one short. So I'm actually gonna talk about that today. In this video, I'll be sharing a bit about my workout split. So I don't do like the regular, or at least I know the gym bros, the gym girlies sometimes have like an upper body day, like lower body day, back day, arm day. I don't really do that. I did that in the beginning, but then I felt like I didn't really have, well, first of all, I don't have a lot of time. So it was really hard to squeeze in the amount of workouts that I needed to do per each like body section. So I just decided that, you know what, I'm gonna stick to strength training 3 days a week and I'm going to work full body. However, and as I'll share a bit more, in my full body sessions, I do do some exercises one day that focuses maybe a little bit more on my lower body and like my glutes, and then the next day I'm still doing full body but focusing a bit more on my back and my arms or core, and then the third day something else, just to make sure that I of course target my entire body, but also that I'm emphasizing on certain muscle groups each time. So that's my way of kind of doing like a workout body split, except like I don't have specific like arm day, this is the leg day. I have my notes as usual so don't mind me looking down, just to make sure that I get all the things that I want to say today. So I'll definitely show some of my exercises. I do have some parts that I've recorded when I've been at the gym, but it's like it's also awkward to record when you're at the gym. So I don't want to get like, I don't want to say innocent people, but like people that I don't know on my videos. So I usually just film myself if the gym is more empty, which normally would be like on Sundays when I do my exercise. There's not a lot of people there. Or like this week, my sister is visiting me from Stockholm, so she was able to film a few of my exercises, which you will see in this video. So so let's start with where I'm at today. So today I strength train 3 days a week. That's a lot coming from me. I used to hate going to the gym, but now I really do enjoy it, and I like really look forward to going to the gym the next time. So nowadays I do go to the gym for most of my workouts, but I also sometimes do home workouts with the weights that we have here at home, properly, like with the technique and all, like if I'm lifting or if I'm bending, and it's been really helpful, because like even my squats, like something as simple you could say as squats, in the beginning my trainer was like, no, you're not doing it in the right way, because I had a tendency of like when I go down doing the squat, and then when I'm coming up, like I was pushing my toes up, and she was like, no, you have to like keep your feet. I don't know if that's a good explanation, but that's basically what I was doing. So like when I'm going down, like my feet would go like this, so I'm almost like swinging when I come up from my squats, like just as an example. So she basically told me like, no, make sure you stay put with your legs. And or when I'm doing a hip thrust, that's another exercise where you have, in my case, I've used a barbell, like a 30-kilo one now. I couldn't do that in the beginning, and like thrusting up, it's a good exercise for the glutes. I think there's a clip of me doing it, so I'll show it. I think I'm doing that one with a machine, but I sometimes change. Sometimes I do it with a machine, sometimes I do it with a barbell. And just as another example with my trainer, I kept doing it with my feet, or like, how do I say, my knees kept like wanting to come together, and she was like, no, you need to make sure that your knees like stay apart, and like kind of point outwards, because that's when you will really feel like, or like activate your glutes. So it's like those little things. So I can really encourage you, if you don't know where to start or what to do, to get a trainer. Okay, I feel like sometimes I talk fast, so let me drink some water and gather myself, and then I'll get into just a bit more about like exactly how my weeks look like. So as I told you guys, I work out 3 times a week when I do strength training, and I don't really have specific days because they kind of shift. I mean, I would say 2 of my strength training days are kind of set. I always go on Sundays that I know, either before or after church. I do prefer going before church, because then it's just so nice to come home and just rest. But some days it's nicer to go after, because then I usually do make it like a bit of a longer session, which is like over an hour. that's not what I do every Sunday, but sometimes I feel like, yeah, I have the energy, I want to do a little bit, like add 1 or 2 exercises and really focus on like the form, the technique, then I do that on Sundays usually. And then let me just go through my schedule, okay? Basically, my Tuesdays is usually my first day of the week where I work out, because as I just said, I always work out on Sundays mostly. I didn't like it before, but I stuck to it. It's easier for me because I know I'm always gonna go to church. So then I've just incorporated it into my everyday life, that I either do it, as I said, before or after church. And so then because I do that, then Mondays for me is the day where I rest, which is really nice because you need to recover and rest. And then on Tuesdays, that's when I normally go for Zumba, which is like a group training dance session. It's 1 hour. I love it. And this is, I guess it is cardio, but it's also just really fun. So I do it mostly for the fun and the vibes. I'm not, honestly, because I have a really great Zumba instructor. And then there was a point when I was trying to do the Zumba and strength train on the same day. I got tired because I was like, yeah, no, like after work, it's too much. So I stuck to Tuesdays just being a regular Zumba day. So for Wednesdays, usually I would go, it's a mixture. Either I meet my trainer on Wednesdays or a Thursday, and whichever day it is, that it would be my my first strength training of the week, which might be like a little bit late in the week, but because of the Tuesday with the Zumba, yeah, I just stuck to that. So it's usually Thursdays, but sometimes it's Wednesdays. And for Wednesdays, I normally, if I'm going by myself, I try to do it in the mornings, but I'm not really like a morning workout person. So it's not always that it happens. Usually it's after work. And like we have this, we meet with for a Bible study with friends on Wednesday. So usually I would do it after work and before the Bible study, or on Thursday after work. And then, as I said, and then Sunday would be my third. No, sorry, now I'm missing a day. No, that's the first one. So then actually Fridays would be my second. Oh my God, I'm getting confused now. Friday would be my second workout day of the week for the strength training, and then Sunday is the third one. So then that's like 3 strength training sessions, and then I have the Zumba on Tuesdays, and and then the rest days would be Monday and the other days in between. And of course, in between those days, I always make sure, at least I try to make sure that I get 8,000 steps in a day. Sometimes it's less, very few times, but mostly it's like if it's rainy or snowy. And most days it's more, like it can be anything from between 10,000 up to 12, 13. Some crazy days recently, because it's been really good weather and I've just been walking around like headless chicken. I've gotten like 19,000, 20,000 steps, which is wild. Like that's definitely not common for me. Usually that's what I get when I'm doing hiking, and I haven't hiked in like 3 years. But yeah, and what I normally do is, as I said, I try to mix all my workouts into full body workouts, but of course, some days I do focus more on like my hamstrings, my quads and glutes, and the other day I would focus a little bit more on the back, shoulders, arms and chest. And then the third day would probably again be glutes, but combined with like core or something like that, even though I'm still trying to do a mixture of full body workouts. So that's it, and now I will show you some of my actual workouts. Yes, friends. So as you've seen, I have different workouts that I do. I don't have all of them because, of course, I don't. I don't have someone who can film me at the gym. But if I do, or when I do, or if the gym is more empty and I film by myself, those are some of the exercises that you saw now. I used to hate and avoid doing upper body, but now I actually enjoy seeing myself getting stronger. I love the feeling, like I can tell that I'm getting more muscle, even though there's still fat, of course. So, and I know you can target fat, like we all would love to, you know, not have a big belly, right? Some of us at least. So that would be a great area to target, but like really you just need to lose fat all overall, and then stubborn areas will follow. I've seen that, for example, I have a lot of like chubbiness in like my, what do you call it? Like my lower, no, like midsection of my back. Like you can tell it's like the way some people would say like they have like a tire around their stomach. I feel like that's what I have at my back, which I don't really like. So of course that's an area that I would like to see go. And of course I do things like lat pull downs and yeah, different exercises for like the back and to strengthen sort of like my shoulders, like overall just like the back area. And that I think will help. Of course, you can't, as I said, target spot fat, but you can work out like certain muscle groups in certain areas in order for those areas to look more defined and toned. And then as you continue to lose weight, at least that's what I've seen so far, the areas kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like I can see the muscle somewhere down there behind the fat. And obviously just the more I continue to lose weight, I'm sure it will be more evident. But as you know, I think I said it before in another video, I am kind of at a stall, like a plateau. I've been here in this stall since like April. Yeah, I mean, I've been going up and down, but pretty much around the same numbers. And even this week I weighed in myself at 122 kilos. So I'm still here. Very annoying, because obviously I want to see the scale go down, but at the same time, I'm really happy that I'm maintaining, because best believe it, it has been a really, really, really long time since I was able to maintain weight, as in like to just be around the same weight for weeks, even for months. I've basically been at this weight for, yeah, pretty much since April, May, which is at least like 2 months for me. And that's a win. So I'll take that as another non-scale victory, even though I really want to lose more. And of course, I've already gotten the prescription from my doctor to move up to 7.5 milligram. But I am still taking the last batch of 5 milligram just because I'm gonna be honest, I think I said it before as well in a different video. It's more about the price point. It's not cheap. I'm paying out of pocket completely. I can do another video some other time sharing a bit more about the cost, because I have gotten questions from some people who know me about the cost and like how do you do it in order to be able to pay for the drugs and stuff. Yeah, because I think some people are interested, but here, unless if you're like a diabetic, but since I'm not, I unfortunately have to pay out of pocket, and it's not cheap. So yeah, that's just a bit of a side note on where I'm at in terms of my weight and just the stall. I'm still in a stall. I'm hoping that will shift, but also I have to be honest and say that I'm not also eating in a calorie deficit. I decided that for the past 1 month, almost a little bit less than a month, I've been eating at maintenance, meaning that I'm eating the calories pretty much like if I burn, let's say 2,000 calories, then I'm also eating 2,000 calories. I'm not actively trying to eat less than what I burn right now, because I just felt like my body was really, really stressed with this weight loss, and not just that, I had a lot at work, so I was on the verge of burnout. So I just decided that what I need right now for my mental and physical health is to just kind of like recover and come to a better place before I continue more with the more aggressive kind of weight loss. So in that sense, yeah, I've been at maintenance, and I still am, not because I've reached my goal weight, because normally when people say I'm at maintenance, it means they've kind of lost and achieved, you know, their, like they're at their weight loss goal, and that's why they're trying to maintain their weight. In my case, that's not the case. So this is more just me eating at maintenance calories so that I can survive, or so that I could survive the last intense work month that I had. Now I'm on vacation. I'm going to go back into, it's not my routine, but at least my vacation mode and being more chilled, being able to sleep better. So after next week, my plan is to go back on eating in a calorie deficit. And how I know that I do this is because I track my food. So that is, you don't necessarily have to track your food. I do it because I'm trying to learn more about like the nutritional aspects of what I eat, but also just understanding how much do I actually need in order to maintain or lose. And now, based on where I've been for the past 2 months, I understand that okay, where I'm eating right now with the weight that I'm on, I'm literally, or with the weight that I'm at, I am literally just maintaining. So that's good. But I also noticed like days when I've maybe eaten, I wouldn't say days, but weeks I would say when some weeks during the course of this, since April, like since this stall, I've noticed like when the weight has crept up a little bit, I can look back in my app and be like, okay, I see here, I was literally eating in a surplus. So that helps me to know. And my goal is not to track for forever, because again, I don't think that would be like something sustainable for me to do for the rest of my life. However, it is good for me just to learn sort of like what is what and what do I need to eat to both to lose weight, but also to maintain weight, but also to understand when I'm actually in a surplus. This also, of course, includes eating nice, when I say nice food, like foods that you probably would have during celebrations. Like I'm not restricted myself when it comes to eating cakes or something like that. I've had it when I've been to celebrations, but I've also had less portions of it. And some days I've skipped it completely because I don't really feel the need to have it. I have it if I want to, not because I must and I can't like control myself. Like I don't have those kind of cravings that I did before. But yeah, so now you got a little bit more information about that, and you saw the video with my workout routines, and there are a few questions that I've received from people, and specifically like from people around me. And also, of course, if any of you have questions, please put them in the comments. I'll make sure to answer either in the comments or in an upcoming video. And just some of the questions that I received. One was, what do you do in the gym? You've seen the clips that I put and a bit of my explanation, so that's basically it. Another question is, do you really need to strength train when you're on a GLP-1? Yes, you do. I know some people will say, no, you don't, and I lost weight without doing it. To each their own. I'm not gonna judge them, okay? Well, listen, we don't judge, but I'm looking at you with a side eye because even if you lose weight naturally in a rapid way, you will lose muscle, okay? So in order not to lose a lot of muscle, it's important to build muscle, but also just you need to strength train to maintain the muscle that you have. Obviously, you're not going to maintain the exact same amount because you're now smaller. A smaller body doesn't need the same amount of muscle that you needed at, let's say if you weighed 80 and now you weigh 60, of course you don't need the same amount of muscle, but you don't need to lose as much. So that's why it's so important to strength train. Another question I got is, how many days are enough for strength training? As I said, like I don't spend hours in the gym. I don't think you have to spend days in the gym. Some people do. I don't. Like I said, I just strength train 3 times a week. That's where I'm at right now. I would like to increase it to 4 times, but I feel like just right now with how hectic work has been and just life in general, it doesn't work for me. But yeah, I think find whatever is realistic for you and sustainable. But I did get actually my dietitian when I started this journey did tell me, make sure you strength train at least 3 times a week. So I put that as a minimum for me based on what she told me, because I was like, I heard some other people say like 4 to 5 times a week, and I'm like, I just can't. But now I'm thinking, because I do have weights at home, I could probably add a 4th session and just do like 20 minutes like arms exercises, for example, one of the days in the week. It's just that I'm gonna be honest, it's just my laziness that I haven't done it. And yeah, and another question I've gotten is also, won't you lose too much weight or get saggy skin? I mean, I feel like this would happen in any weight loss. And I know it's a concern for people, but honestly, there's a lot of things that affect whether or not you will have saggy skin. Like some people lose weight and don't have, some people lose weight and they do. I think it really depends on like your genetics, probably your age as well. Like I'm not a medical professional, but I understand that obviously age can be an influence, but also like, yeah, just how like the elasticity of your skin works. So, and also whether or not you're losing weight fast and probably other things. So I can't really control everything, but what I can control is strength training to make sure that, yeah, that I take care of my body. And then whether or not I'll get saggy skin, we'll see. I think it's too early for me in my journey to say. Hi friends, as you can see at this point my camera's memory was full. I will try to remember that to next time to check it before I start recording. I am still figuring this whole YouTube thing out, so bear with me as I figure out everything about editing, filming, and even just my own posting schedule. As you notice, I don't have a specific day that I post. I've tried Thursdays, I've tried Mondays, but I'm still figuring everything out, so please bear with me. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening this far into my video. I will be back, of course, with more weekly updates. And again, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend and new week as well.